Hello everyone, this is Rosemary and this is my latest journal. I made it for a swap with a Paris theme with a junk journal chat group. It is a small one signature journal and it's made from an envelope, one of those inter-office envelopes that's full of holes. I covered the holes first with a layer of material and the second layer is napkin. The little decoration, this is a printable, one of my favorites that I love to use, of this couple on a bike. There is a lace trim just to add a little bit of interest to the cover. And I have a button and seam binding closure. The seam binding has been avocado stained. And you can see here, just very simple, but it is just a very pretty cover. So I like to press down and keep the bow intact, and there it goes. And we open it up and you can see the cover, the inside cover right there. This is some tissue paper I got at a swap, a tissue paper swap. And here is some of the graphic. I had a sheet of graphic 45 paper, just one, and it says, "If the crown fits." And so I thought that would be appropriate for this journal. And isn't this lovely? This is a printable I got from Pinterest, and there it goes. This is a card that's been in my stash like forever, and she's the last card left. And so right here it says "Dream of Paris." And you open it up. You know, I love to use cards in my journals, and the flap here has been covered with a napkin decoupage. And like I said, this is the graphic 45. You're going to see it throughout the journal. It's that stripe section, and I just cut it into strips and you will see them as pockets. All these little printables came from this tin of note cards. My friend Janie found them in a thrift store and she let me make some copies of the note cards. So you're going to see them throughout this journal. This is a belly band made from just, you know how you sometimes have a strip of paper? I used a Martha Stewart punch, and it makes a beautiful belly band for this card, for this little printable. It's just beautiful. Isn't this just a beautiful tag? So it reminds me of fashions in Paris. The back is a tag. It becomes a pocket. The story begins. And so we begin. So like I said, you're going to get tired of hearing me. Note card printables. That's what you're going to see. So this is a flap, and you open it all the way down, and it is, you can write or put photos. It's three flaps, and you can write on the back of them, the front of them. And right behind this is another pocket. And so there is, this journal is lightly decorated, so you can still make it your own. This is a little die cut, and I added a little butterfly with this. And this is just paper I had in my stash. And here is, again, you could journal, pocket, here are some tags, and I thought if you're visiting, you need to keep track with a calendar, so I thought calendar paper would be good. And this paper, I only napkin decoupage like twice, which is very unusual for me. And some lined paper from a day planner. And here's some scrap paper with one of the printables, one of the cards. Isn't she beautiful? And here again, one of the tags. And they form a pocket. And I did them together so she's kind of like in a frame. And here's a side pocket. And it says Paris Photo Miniatures. So again, you can see the leftover paper I had from that punch. And you could open it and you can write on the front and the back. The reason it's shiny, this is some Mod Podge that got on this paper, so you could glue something on it. I don't think you can write on it, but the front you can right here. So it goes in here. And I have this set of stamps that are just beautiful swirls, and they have little sayings woven into it. And this one says, "Beauty is all around." And here's another, like I said, "Let them eat cake." I love this. You're going to see this later on, so I used every little piece I could. Part of the note tags. This is some stationery. I love to pick up stationery at thrift stores. And you put it together because, again, it makes like a frame, forms a frame to frame the picture, and more journaling space, of course. And this is some avocado stained paper, I believe. I had this travel book, like a travel log, and it has all kinds of interesting things like destination, who I traveled with, where I stayed, places I visited, people I met, places to remember, all this little stuff. So it's a book, and I've been taking apart the pages, and I put some pages of this, and then it has notes. So because I thought, oh, think of it as a travel journal, you're remembering Paris, that would be fun. So this is, I stamped, this is again my friend Janie, she picked up this lace, and it's just very dainty right there, and I put a little ribbon, just that real, I thought, very elegant look to it. And here's some of the tissue paper I had left over, and then a doily, it's also avocado stained, a little note card, and here's again that paper. This is a cluster, and I use this cluster as an embellished envelope, the moment. I think if you go to Paris, you have to see the Eiffel Tower. And you turn it over, and this is a giant cluster. I really like this, and you turn it over, and it's just a giant tag. So it decorates, as well as it has a tag a purpose right there. So it really adds a lot to that page. This page makes me laugh because this was a note someone sent me, and I really liked this border and the rose, so I just kind of tore this off, and I added another piece of note paper. So it looks like it's on purpose, right? Well, it is on purpose, but you would never have thought it was old stationery there, that and I have the note part of the paper. So you turn it over, and here is a side-loading pocket. And my son was a French language workbook, and he was throwing it away, so I took it and added that in there. He's the only person in our family that speaks French. Here's a card, and I put some lace just so that you could see that it is a pocket there. Again, the strips from the Graphic 45, and they actually are a top tuck and a bottom tuck. Because the tags are very small, and you can see this is I think the Notre Dame Cathedral, and this is just another printable with a little lace tab, and this is a Martha Stewart punch. It just makes a nice little arrangement there, so plenty of journaling. Avocado stained paper, and down below it says, "A woman can be overdressed but never over elegant." So I just added that. This is a stamp. This is going to be an embellished paper clip, and I thought that it looked just too stark right there. So this is like a button sticker. And once people know you make junk journals, you can see it up there. People just give you stuff. They say, "Here, I've cleaned out my craft room. I brought you something. Add it to my mess." And I always take it because I know I can use it. This is a cluster. I love this lady. And again, this was they gave me, what is it, a Sears Roebuck page, and said, "Tear any pages you want out of here." So I took this, and when I photocopy it or copy it, it comes up this lovely peach color. The paper is a real brown, actually, but it's just a beautiful, and I love to make copies of her Well, it's a whole page of these ladies with their hats, their elegant hats. And then, like I said, French workbook. And here's the stamp that says, live life to the fullest. And added the lace and the ribbon. This is the center of the signature where I put an envelope to hide the stitching. And my friend Marlene gave me this paper of the roses. And here's this another swirl laugh. And plenty of pages to make it your own. The new owner will get a chance to decorate. And here's the other half, let them eat cake. So what are these cookies? Oh gosh. And some stationery or a note card. And this was also, I had that one sheet, they were clearing it out, and the stamps. So I brought them out, and this is just a beautiful chandelier. I hadn't used it, and I think I'm going to be using it more often. But it's a graphic 45 stamp. I've talked about these pockets, and this was somebody sent me this in a swap, and it is a napkin decoupage there. And I just thought it looked really pretty. It would go really well with this. And here are the fashions. And again, the workbook. This is kind of fun. It's a crossword, so I left, these are the clues. So someone who can speak French, it would be fun to do a crossword there in French. And this paper that I spoke to you guys about. This is the repeat section because we're coming to this is the back half of the signature. And again, another cluster with it down here. A woman can be overdressed but never over elegant. Isn't this just beautiful? I just thought, oh, she looks so elegant. Fit in with a little quote right there. And you can see how I cut all the little graphic 45. And this is a note card. And I had a stick, this is some paper that's been floating around my stash of a chandelier. And I wanted to put it like this. But then I lifted up, it looks like his head's not there. I guess kind of, you know, a Freudian slip there, like off with his head, you know. So anyway, I thought that was rather cruel, so that it goes in this way. Dream a little dream, and plenty of pages, a little flip up pocket. This is a card, plain card, and I just left it like this. And it looks kind of Monet-ish. And lace tabs. This is also a tiny little card that someone sent me in a swap. You know how where they say, give their, hope you enjoy all the stuff. Well, I love the little flower, so I cut it apart and made a little cluster out of it. And I'm really enjoying clustering. And again, can't have a journal without my napkin decoupage, so I am very limited. This is a note card with this flower right here, a side-loading pocket, and this is some stationery that I was given, and the tag goes in like this. And as we come, I left this page, like I said, I wanted the new owner to have plenty of room to add and do whatever, give their journal their own personality. Here you see it's an envelope. You can see the envelope portion, and I left it as more storage. You can also see the material I used to cover it. It was, like I said, a wedding dress, so I had all this satin left over. What do you do with it? You have to put it in a journal. And here are some printables. Again, I just thought they were so beautiful. And you can see I put two eyelets so they don't really interfere with the pocket. And you can see this is the journal. It's a very small little journal, but it is I think entertaining, decorated lightly, but still fun to go through. Plenty of journaling space. And so again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again.